an argument against masks that you probably haven't heard of, probably haven't thought of or heard of. Forget the argument about CO2, oxygen, hypoxia. Forget those arguments. I want to give you something to think about and to chew on that you probably have never heard or thought about. Let's take our minds back to the before time, the long, long ago. You know, last year. Anybody been to the hospital? Has anybody been to the hospital in the last 5 or 10 years? I've been to the hospital many times. Had kidney surgery. I have an aging mother with diabetes. I've taken her to the hospital. I've visited her in the hospital. I got stabbed in the eye from some yard debris and I had to go to the hospital. I've been to the hospital quite a few times in the last 2 or 3 years. What are the reasons people go to the hospital? There's two main drivers for the reason people go to the hospital. Number one is injury. You fell off a ladder and you got a broken arm and you got bones sticking out of your skin, right? Injury. Or you need surgery, like me. I had kidney stones and I had surgery. Or whatever, you need surgery. You got some injury. The other reason to go is that you're sick. You got the sniffles, you're coughing your ass off, you're vomiting, you're diarrhea. You know what I mean? It's been going on for 5 days. It can't get rid of it. Doc, help me out. What's going on? I'm sick. Sickness and disease and injury, they're the main reasons. Of course, there are other reasons to go to the hospital. You might be visiting someone, you might work there, you might be an intern or a volunteer. But the main reasons people actually go to the hospital, if they don't work there for some capacity, is because they're sick or they're injured. Now, since one of the two main reasons is sickness and disease, the reason people go, don't you think doctors and nurses are aware of this? Don't you think that if wearing a mask, especially the blue surgical mask, which is pretty much all you'll ever see in a hospital, you'd never see a doctor wearing a handkerchief or an N95 dust mask. It's always the blue surgical masks. If they ever put one on, that's what they wear. And many of you are aware that right on the box from the manufacturer, they say, this mask does not prevent the spread of any disease. Lots of experts echo this. The CDC, the World Health Organization, they echo this. They just don't. Maybe you've heard the analogy of wearing a mask is like putting up a chain link fence to stop mosquitoes because viral particles are so small, they go right through. So in the last year before, COVID, have you been to the hospital? Have you ever walked into a hospital and seen all the nurses, all the doctors, all the janitors, all the maintenance people, anybody who works there, all the volunteers? You ever walk in and see them all masked up? No. I wonder why. Do you think these people don't know that at any given moment, somebody could walk into that hospital with a terribly infectious, deadly disease like tuberculosis? You know, tuberculosis killed 1.5 million people per year on average. Staphylococcus, streptococcus, pneumonia, these are infectious, potentially deadly diseases. And the hospital is fully aware that at any given moment, somebody could walk into that hospital with some terrible infectious respiratory disease. Were they masked up last year? Were they worried about TB, staph, strep, pneumonia, the flu? No. You think about that.